So these are the wings. They have high topology and they look very good. Oh, and yeah, I will not be including these textures, but you can get them from Quixel Bridge. It's these ones. You can buy them or you can use them for free in Unreal Engine projects. So in order to get started and use these feathers on a character, we first should have a character. For example, this one. What you're gonna need are these bones. I did make a copy of them for the rig itself that controls everything on the wings. They basically just follow the original ones that the character has. And these are the ones that the feathers themselves actually follow. Now what you're gonna want to do is move them to a position that you think looks good on the character, and make these a child of that one perhaps. This follows half of this and half of that, and the tail follows half of this and half of that. Once you're done with that, make sure to lock these and never move them again. Now your wings will follow your character's movements. Okay, so when you're setting this up, you'll notice that when this bone rotates the whole wings, this is actually the reason why these wings are designed for humans, because it has an additional bone that avoids, well, hands that a bird doesn't have, or rather their wings are hands. But in order to change how much this bends, so that it bends properly for your character, is to go here, select this bone, go to drives, and it's always the first one. I don't know what the others are, but all you gotta do is perhaps hide the rest. Select this point, and that'll influence when does it stop, at what point. Just move it up and down. I mean you'll see what it does. This layer is all the child of constraints if you accidentally change the origin of this rig. This is an absolute tragedy that if anyone has a better solution for, they can give one, but you won't touch these either. They just exist to make everything else easier, and so do these. They're just so the rest of the rig, which is all of these, are easily controlled. You can animate them, but I suggest not, it's just weird. These are the bones that will animate the basic movement, like wing flap. Oh. And this tail also. This next layer has further controls, like where these feathers point to. You can also rotate these bones and it will follow. It actually just follows these. This is what's really happening, and those feathers are just pointing the various points on these bendy bones. Now these two layers, actually with these ones as well, but you wouldn't want to move these ones as much because you'd be plucking the feathers away. So maybe don't use those if you can, because they just look weird. But these are the basic bends. Now the reason why these aren't working 100%, but only 50%, is because they're set to work like that. Because of these. These only follow them 0.5%, because what these are meant to do is have the wiggle bone add-on enabled. If you don't wish to use this at all, you can just select them all and rewrite this to 1 and set them all to 1. But for the purpose of using bendy bones, set them all to 0.5. And what that does is now when you press play, they will simulate quite nicely. So you can make flying very easily. It also works on the tail, if you can see the slight movement. You can always change the settings on this simulation. You can also make the transition, the bends here, a bit smoother with this. This is one of the most important bones as well. This sets where the wings are pointing, how their end is rotated. Then this one is the elbows and where they point. Over here, you have an additional bone, and when you make a very steep angle here, you can average it out by rotating this. I wouldn't suggest bending in too much this way or that way because it'll be hideous. You can rotate these on the y-axis to make these feathers look nicer. They don't influence anything else. In order to move these thumbs, you go here. So you make something like this, and the feathers go through each other and you don't really like how it looks. You not only have a layers individual for every big feather, but you also have an additional version of those that lets you adjust every single segment without copying the parents. These inherit rotation, these don't. That's the only difference. You can adjust any of them whenever, it will work. And then the fixing of the small feathers. So you will have to fix them like this, averaging out. And the top ones for this. The top ones are here. For example, if they go through the mesh like this, you can just shove them in. Although this seems to be more a problem of these ones. Maybe just rotate them on the y-axis and nothing else, because if you move them about, it's horrible. I didn't lock anything because everything should be animatable, because why not? And these small ones as well. Oh, I forgot, there's actually buttons here. These buttons here activate blank shapes that curve these big feathers inside. Also, if your computer can't handle this with full frames like mine, you could use these placeholders. Oh dear, it's very sad. Also, this is the rig itself, I mean the armature, which has all the bone deformed. So this is the thing that you would want to bake and export to other programs. If you have any suggestions on some fixes, or if you fix something about this, feel free to send it to me, I'll re-upload it. Like, for example, custom shapes, because these are just bones. That's not really pretty. So yeah.